I'm going to introduce you to somebody who I have no words to describe how amazing this young man is. I've tried to support his, journey as best I possibly can since I've known him. And I met him at a very, very young age through a mutual friend. I think it was Duncan, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to introduce you to Callum Fairhurst and let him tell you this phenomenal story of what he's about to do and why we're doing it, why Periscope is involved, and how we're going to take you, all of you, on this amazing journey around the entire world.
Hello, AJ. I don't know, can you see me yet?
Yes, we can.
I presume you can see me?
Yes, you can.
Brilliant. Well, it's lovely to speak to all of you out there across the world, and hopefully I am going to be going across the world in a couple of months. I'm going to start, I don't know if you know much about it, but I'm going to start explaining my story and then go on to what I'm going to do and why I'm going to do it. My journey started in 2005, and me and AJ didn't know one another at all at this point. I was 8 years old and my brother was 10, and he was diagnosed with cancer. And as many people will be aware, you don't really know how to react when you've got someone in your family with cancer. You can be sad, you can be confused. But Liam, my brother, had just one action, and he was happy. Because he was happy that he knew he could do something and he could try and fight this disease, although being annoyed that he had it at the same time. A year on to Liam's treatment, his friend passed away from a similar cancer, and that's when it became apparent to me, to Liam, to our whole family that he wasn't invincible. So Liam, my brother, wanted to start fundraising. And cutting the long story short, not to bore you, you can see more about it. I'll speak more about it in another Periscope at some point. Liam was responsible for raising £7.34 million. So it's about $15 million at that time, I think.
Listen, how old, please, sorry to interrupt, Callum, how old was Liam at the time?
So Liam was 14
when he sadly
passed away.
14 years old.
Yeah.
Young boy suffering from cancer, raised $15 million for cancer. In and around currency conversion, whatever.
Yeah, that's probably a poor currency conversion on my behalf, but it's around that. But so from the ages of 10 to 14, Liam raised that amount of money. So he raised directly £340,000 and a further £7 million by heading a campaign that he was responsible for.
Yeah.
Liam was told many things. He was told that he wouldn't live until he was 12 years old. He proved doctors wrong. He was told that he would have to have his leg amputated because his original cancer was in his leg. He proved doctors wrong. Time and time again, Liam defied all odds. And Liam's determination, Liam's courage, his inspiration just hit me. And it's hard not to be hit when you're his brother. And thousands of people across the country, literally thousands of people, were inspired by Liam. And I was inspired to try and start doing things. So I've done a bit of fundraising here and there, and it eventually led to the setting up of a charity that help young people affected by cancer, disabilities and illnesses across the UK. But I've always had one big ambition. I say always. For the past few years, I've had a huge ambition, and that is to cycle 18,000 miles, which is the official mileage if you want to cycle the world, and that's to cycle the entire globe, going through different continents, going through different countries, seeing amazing people, and being able to help and support amazing people.
Callum, one thing, if you don't mind, please tell us, you sadly lost Liam. At what age did he pass away?
So Liam passed away at 14. It was on the 30th of June 2009. I remember the time, I remember the weather, I remember what I was watching on TV, I was remembering how I found out. I remember it all so clearly, and so many people watching right now will all have vivid memories of similar situations to them. And something I didn't mention, but when Liam passed away, of course I remember all these things like the time, the day, but there's one thing that stands out more than anything to me, and that is the promise that I made Liam, and that I would live a great life, and that I would help others whilst doing it. And this cycle with you, AJ, and with the help of all those here and all those to me before, is going to do exactly that. I'm going to be having a great time at points, although I think I'll be regretting it quite a lot of time being on the saddle for so many hours, for so many days. But whilst doing that, I'm going to be able, with the support of people like yourselves, be able to help out so many amazing people across the world.
Thank you. Callum, since Liam sadly passed away, how old were you at the time?
I was 12.
Callum was 12 years old. Callum was Liam's younger brother, guys. Callum's been raising money. He was his younger brother. He was 12 years old. And ever since Liam passed away, Callum has been raising as much money as he possibly can for children suffering from cancer. He's devoted his entire life to this. He's been invited to Downing Street on multiple occasions, on recognition of his great achievements. He formed a foundation called the Liam Fairhurst Foundation, which is an official charity and doing some amazing things. This is the first cause that ScopeForGood is supporting. He has an official charity number, and this is something that we're raising money for and coming together to try and...
And if you don't mind me jumping in as well, AJ, you said these great things about what I've been able to do, but I haven't been able to do this. I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't have the support of so many amazing people. And I think ScopeForGood, and I think people like you, AJ, that are supporting me and are supporting these charities, are the people that make all this happen. It's not just me going off and cycling the world. It's not just me that's been able to support the people. It's people like you. It's people like the general public that have enabled me to get up and to give it a go. So I think ScopeForGood's a brilliant idea, and as many people that we can get wherever you are in the world to get involved with charities that are local to you. Get involved with this. You don't even have to get involved with this. Just go out, do some good, even if you're doing good already. It's amazing.
That's the important thing, Callum. I just want to touch, if you don't want to, for some strange reason, you don't want to support this, ScopeForGood is there to do whatever you can in your local area. Some of my friends at Thanksgiving buy 100 turkeys and go to poor families and give turkeys. I want those guys to scope it. And I want those guys to scope what's going on in the world. If you're going out and doing some amazing things in your local community, get your periscope out and scope it and use the hashtag ScopeForGood. And the idea behind this is to try and raise as much awareness of what's going on in the world from the eyes of the people, not from the media, and doing as much good as we possibly can. This gentleman is Callum Fairhurst, guys. Google him. His Twitter is Callum Fairhurst as well.
No, my Twitter is Black Pig Sweets.
Oh, yes,
it's a long. I need to change that.
Okay, his Twitter is Black Pig Sweets. Callum set up a sweet store when he was young, and that's that. That's the story behind the Twitter. But we'll get that changed. We'll contact Twitter and get that changed. I think
I've still got the Callum Fairhurst Twitter name. I've just not changed it over. So.
Callum, what makes a 17... I know what makes it happen, but I want to hear it from your words to the public, because we've spoken about this a few times. What makes a 17-year-old man sit back and say, I'm going to cycle 18,000 miles across the entire globe and raise as much money as I possibly can for some amazing causes, children-related causes? How does one even train for that? How did you even fathom to try and make that happen?
Okay, so why I would even think of it is because I've always wanted to. Well, not always. Like I say, there was some guy that went out and done it, and I thought, actually, that looks quite fun. And from there, I've always wanted to cycle the globe. And anyone can do anything, whether you're 17 or whether you're 70. If you want to do something, then you can get out and you can do it, or at least give it a good try. And I'm in this brilliant position where I've been given so much support and so much help, And I'm at the age where I can take a year out of life in a way and go out and do this. So I guess in some ways it's a bit of stupidity, in some ways it's a bit of ambition, and in other ways it's just a load of things falling into place. But like I say, anyone can go out and do whatever they want. If they wanted to cycle the world, if they wanted to own a lovely car, if they wanted to have a brilliant family, anything can happen with a bit of ambition.
Thank you for the hearts, guys. If you're just joining us, Callum Fairhurst is cycling the entire globe, or raise money for children suffering from various different, various different things in their life that is causing distress, or various different things that are happening in their life. How do you sum that up? I mean, what charities? Some people are asking, what are the causes that we're supporting here? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So the foundation, Liam Fairhurst Foundation, helps young people affected by cancer, disabilities and illnesses in the UK. But we're helping out so many different causes across the world. It's not just about the foundation. It's about helping out people like Drop for Drop, which you Google them, they're brilliant. Free the Children, again, Google them, they're brilliant, mainly operating in India, providing communities with clean water to schools and education, then going over to other charities like in America, where I plan to support Serious Fun Camps as one of the charities, where they help siblings and where they help children with disabilities and illnesses to have a breakaway. Google them. There's so many different people that we're going to be supporting, and we'd love to hear ideas for organisations that we can support in the countries that I visit. I haven't got an organisation or a charity for everywhere I go yet, and ideally I would love to be able to help out every country that I visit. So send us your ideas, that'd be brilliant.
We've got a gentleman called Evan who's watching you right now who actually did the branding for Free the Children.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the logo and everything. Alex Pettit, the second most loved person on Periscope and a supporter of what we're doing, has a question for you. How is the training going? What are your training? What is the training that you're doing at the moment?
You can probably tell by my laugh that the training isn't, lots of people ask how is the training going, and there's a couple of answers for that. I will never feel trained enough. You can never train too much when doing such a mammoth challenge. And the way I've done it, so I'm on track with training. I'm going out for the right amount of miles, cycling. I'm doing the right amount of stuff in the gym. I'm doing the right amount of stuff at home. But the way I've staggered the ride is at the beginning of the ride, I'm going to be doing not many, but a lot less miles than I will be hopefully towards the middle, towards the end. So in Australia, the mileage I'm going to be completing over a few weeks will be similar to what I'm hoping to be completing towards the end. Yeah. So I'm counting the beginning as a training session in itself.
I understand.
So you start slow and you build up the mileage.
Yeah.
But at the moment, training is going okay.
Callum, we're going to close it soon. I respect your time. I respect everybody tuning in. We're going to keep it as quick as possible. I'd appreciate if you swipe right and also follow so I can keep you up to date on what's going on with these amazing causes. Also, follow the official Scope for Good account, which is at ScopeForGood. That's the official account, and that's where we're going to be scoping as much as possible. One of the questions is why only India and America, or what have you? No, we're not picking causes that are in specific locations. It's just causes that are have as much maximum impact and help as possible. If you guys have
hope to spread it across the world, so we hope to do it every country that I go to.
If you guys have suggestions, please, email us. Use the contact page on Scope for Good and email us. One thing that we have done is, we've organised press and hopefully as much exposure as possible in every country or most countries that Callum goes through. We've also got some people cycling alongside Callum in various different countries. If you want to cycle alongside Callum in some countries, get in touch with us. We have some celebrities that are doing it. They're going to be scoping as well from their periscopes. There's a lot that's gone into this to organise it. We've got a tracking device on Callum. You're going to be able to watch his journey live on a map. There's so much going on to make this as interactive as we possibly can. to to Euro join us in Paris. Are you going to be going through France at all?
Yeah, I'm going straight through Paris, I
Okay,
hope, as well.
fantastic. So Euro,
So
do join
France
us.
is
Do
going to
join
be,
us in Paris.
Europe's an open canvas at
Yeah,
the moment.
yeah.
So again, I've given myself a time in Europe, and I would love it for people to tell me where they live or tell me what country they want me to go through, and I'll come visit you if I can. So Europe at the moment is a blank sheet.
Callum's going to be periscoping from an account that we have set up on Periscope. I will announce that soon. Callum, I've got a question for you. What countries? Can you please run through the country list in order? Do you have that to
Okay.
hand?
Yeah. So in order, I start in Australia. I then go to New Zealand. I then go a bit of a weird route. So instead of then going over to America, I then go kind of back on myself. I then go to Indonesia, where Indonesia, I go through Singapore, then Malaysia, then Thailand, and then I complete. Then I do a large section in India, and then I fly to Greece in Europe. And then from Greece, I have, like I say, a blank canvas. But at the moment, it looks like I'm going to be going through Italy, France, Switzerland, Germany, England, Ireland, all these different places in Europe, where I will then fly after finishing in Europe from Heathrow, because you can't bike across the ocean. That seems to be a question that I always get asked. So I'm not biking across the ocean, but I'm then flying to the west coast of America, starting in LA. From LA, I complete the west coast. I go up, hopefully all the way up to Washington, where I will then go, again flying to Florida to complete the other coast. And the reason why I'm not going straight through the middle of America is because a lot of the causes that people have been speaking to me about, a lot of the people that have been supporting live on both the coasts. So I've got to complete 18,000 miles, or that's my aim, and I have to do it in a certain period of time. I can't add loads and loads more miles on.
Amazing. And some of along the journey, we'll be stopping by the HQs and various different. I'm going to try and we want to try and stop by Periscope HQ. And various different companies, organisations, friends' homes, celebs, all different, as many different places, and get as much coverage as we possibly can. I missed that last question. Please post it again. I was looking away from the screen. Callum, I think we're going to close it there. Was there anything you wanted to, thank or tell? I will do that. I will do mine afterwards. But is there anything you want to leave with?
I'm not sure exactly, but what I'd like to leave with is please get involved with good causes. If you already are, brilliant. I'm not saying get involved with this if you don't want to join me on a bike, or if you don't want to help out that way, don't worry. But get involved with local community projects wherever you are. It's brilliant to make a difference, and ScopeForGood is hopefully going to make an incredible difference across the world.
Thank you, Callum. I appreciate that. And Callum summed it up amazingly. It's about supporting good, doing as much good as you possibly can within your local areas and what have you. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me. We do have an official website for this, for this cycle. It's called Challenge360. It's a name that Callum and I came up with. It's Challenge360. We do have a website and everything coming soon. We haven't announced it on this scope because it's not live as yet. It's all in production, but I will scope in the future personally with Callum's about 200-300 miles away, so we thought we'd do it like this today, but we'll do a personal scope together pretty soon, and and keep you fully up to date on what's going on. Callum, I'd love you to scope some of your training as well.
I'll be scoping everything.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've been recently introduced to the app, and I will be going crazy. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I got it installed on Callum's phone. So guys, Manny, thank you for supporting. Guys, Euro, thank you for your support. Thank you for everybody that joined this.